You are listening to the 2.5 Weebs podcast, a show where two veteran anime fans drag a newbie down the rabbit hole of waifus, isekai, and fan service, as well as the happenings in the gaming world. The show is recorded every Sunday live on the Mixer channels of Comfimus and Mr. Vengeance. Enjoy.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode, 2.5 Weebs. This week, we're discussing Darwin's game, joined by Copper and Comfy, of course, as always. How are you guys doing? What have you been up to?
An insane amount of Animal Crossing.
Ripping and tearing, my friends. Ripping and tearing.
That's Doom.
And Animal Crossing. Mostly Animal Crossing.
Yeah, my wife has been playing so much Animal Crossing, and it's cool, and I love it. I love seeing... Okay, well, my favorite thing is she's been playing with the community. So, like, you'll see in my entire Discord, it's just them all sharing photos and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Seeing her get involved with it. We even tried the co-op Friday, and we didn't really enjoy it. Like, the split or the local co-op just isn't great.
The local co-op is weird.
It's
I
not
heard
good.
Not great things about
It's
local
not good.
co-op.
Local co-op, like, one person has full control over everything, and then the other person is just kind of like, I'm here, I can't access inventory, anything like that. It's kind of...
Well, you have your own separate inventories.
Yeah.
Each player has their own separate catalog of recipes for stuff they know.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever starts the game first and goes through Tom Nook first gets that stuff for free. The other person has to buy it.
Also, the person who talks to Tom Nook is the island
owner,
is the resident representative.
Yep.
And the other person can't do anything.
Yeah, like they can't push the...
They can't move objects.
Story.
They can't place objects. They can't break trees. Or like there's just so many walls against what you can do.
Yes.
When you're doing the split screen co-op or same screen co-op.
It's just rough.
It's really... It would have
think
been way cooler if they could have made it a little better, but...
I think they did it so that they know a lot of people have Switches, have kids, right?
Oh, absolutely. But I think it should be a toggle.
There should be a toggle for it. They'll probably put out a toggle for it, I would assume, at some point.
You can swap back and forth between who is in charge and who is not.
You can.
That's really quick and easy.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just like shaking the remote or something like that.
Yeah.
But there should be like a permanent toggle you can press and turn on and off, which would kind of be nice. I expect them to do that at some point. Basically, they made it this way so that you can have one main account, and that you can have, if you say have young kids who want to play with you, which is cool, right? If you're a parent, they can do so. But they can do so in a way that doesn't screw up what you're doing with your island. And people put a lot of work into their islands, so I'm not surprised that that's a thing.
I kind of want to make my own island, but I don't have another Switch.
Yeah, you need to get your own Switch.
You also can't make another island unless you use the same Switch. Look at my island.
No, you can't make the same island or a new island on the same Switch. So
you can. I heard some people were having issues with it.
You can make a new island on the same Switch, but it requires deleting the full system delete of the other island.
Yeah, see, you can't. I can't do that. My wife would be like, "What the fuck?"
That's
I would
what
get
I was
stabbed.
going with.
I would be stabbed.
You can't have two at the same time.
Like,
which
she
is
was
stupid.
I was having fun messing around with her and dicking around because I moved some of her stuff around. She was like, "Why? Stop it!" I picked her flowers, but they'll regrow, I assume. And she was yelling at me. And then
they will.
I moved her grill and her bear somewhere, and she's like, "Would you stop it?" No, I'm here to fuck with you. But yeah,
I'm cutting down every tree that is not a fruit tree.
So I feel like we would both have a great time if we each had our own island. Playing it together, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I know Goth and his wife were having that issue because they want to have two separate islands and they want to be able to, or they wanted to have one island and both have houses on it and be able to do stuff, but the game was like Lamau.
Oh, you can both have houses, it's just
you
one person's in full control.
You could still do...
The problem is that one person had to have full control the entire time.
Could we do that? Still just work on the same island? Not really?
I mean...
Kind of. The same way that you have been.
Okay.
Yeah, like Beth and French, who are friends of us, friends of the stream, they share an island. I'm pretty sure. So they kind of go back and forth on stuff. I believe. I'm not sure how they're working it out.
Yeah,
But,
I'm so alone on my island. It's fine.
oh, Comfy, speaking of your island, do you have apples?
I have so many apples, dude.
Okay, apples are the only thing I need still.
Here, I can open up my
food-wise.
island in a moment for you.
I will come over.
Like-
For those wondering, we are going to dive into anime here in a second.
Oh,
We
yeah,
are
for
just,
sure.
Promise we'll talk about anime.
We were just, going over this.
Saying hello first,
We
you
did.
know.
Yeah, because it's been a busy week.
Yes.
It has been a
Comfy's
busy week.
also. Did you finish Doom Eternal?
I'm very close.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna finish it today.
Yeah.
It
I'm
is-
excited to play it. I did buy it this morning, so now I have to download it overnight.
I
So-
got pressured into buying it. My favorite thing is the way that all of the characters talk about the demons, because you played the first one, so you know that like the UAC is basically just a cult who's trying to
Full off.
they're full on cult trying to bring hell into our dimension.
Right.
And there's little like holograms that are walking around, and so like you can walk in and it'll be like our new friends will never walk a tainted earth. The earth must be cleansed, and like stupid stuff like that, and I love it.
They mean it people, by the way, chat.
Oh yeah, no, my favorite one was demon is an offensive term. Please refer to our new friends as mortally challenged.
Jesus.
Yes.
I love it so much. It's just so dumb.
It's hilarious.
They really go all out with
Nice.
the Doom memes.
So we have 2 shows to go over.
Mhm.
I do.
Well, me and Comfy do, right? Dale?
Listen.
And,
I remembered 2 minutes ago I didn't do my homework at all. So oof.
You didn't miss much, so don't worry.
I didn't
Yeah,
watch
so,
any of the shows we're supposed to.
We'll start.
You
with,
actually, I think, would have liked Darwin's game.
I'm going to watch
Yes.
it after. I'm gonna watch it post production, and then I'll probably comment on it next week.
So we're gonna start with episode 12 of the shit show.
Yeah, you want to get that one
Because-
done and get that out of the
I
way.
want to get that.
They
fucking
animate the ending of the last episode and then have exposition talking about how it's not really over because they got a mean email saying I'm not done with you yet.
It was
out. He's not even kidding.
as that.
The first 30 seconds they animate like what the ending of the last episode was, and they're like, oh look, Steel Lady Nanase's dead, and then they just break down how what's her nuts sends them an email and is like, I'm not happy with you. I can't believe you did this to me. I'm trying so hard to like be human again.
Yeah. So we
God.
find out what she's doing. So the quote villain of this, her goal is to become fully human to be able to die. Like she wants to become human again, right? Because she is no longer, technically speaking, human, just like our main male character is. So her goal is to basically create a being so powerful that it can basically
Kill
turn her
her.
human.
Yeah. She wants to use the power of urban legends and creating stuff out of literally nothing so that she can make something strong enough to break reality essentially and make her human again so she can die.
Got it.
Which is a really interesting premise, which would have been nice for them to add at literally any point in the story.
Yeah. Now, had that been added earlier on in the villain, that makes a really sympathetic villain because it's like, well, what's this person's goal? They're trying to be evil? No, they want to become human so they can age and die like a normal person and have a normal life.
It also gives
Well,
so much
shit,
more
like-
context to like everything going on.
Do I
Like,
need
it's
to
a
watch
very-
this
Entire
one?
time,
No.
No. Okay, I won't watch it. I'm gonna.
It's
most of
not
it is Kuro
worth
and his
it.
ex-girlfriend sitting in a diner having exposition.
Got
Yeah,
it.
it's just them like talking the whole time and then
These
like
the last four episodes of this show could have been 2.
Got it.
yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
More
And,
than
it could have been one of breaking down all of the like lies and then one of the resolution. That's literally what it could have been. Like
Comfy just learned how to be distressed. Holy shit.
I what's the distress button?
Oh God.
Um,
Dale's watching me be actively distressed in Animal
Oh,
Crossing
God.
right now.
It's the best
So-
because of the distress
it's weird that your
wallet.
character doesn't have eyebrows, Comfy.
Wait. Yeah, okay.
Is that
My character has eyebrows.
1 second? Let me go give myself eyebrows really quick. I'm gonna give myself the. Oh wait, no, I have to do the custom paint thing. I don't want to deal with that. Copper, can you A, make me comfy merch, and B, make me a beard? Thanks.
You can buy beards from the store.
Oh, they sell them at the store. Perfect. I need to go buy it.
Lovely.
Beards are an accessory that you can get, as are mustaches.
But what about
Ooh.
becoming bald? Can I buy that at the store? Because there was no bald option when I made my character, and I am sad.
I have seen
I bought
various.
most of the hairstyles. I can check for you.
I have seen there are other hair. They call them wigs. You can get at the store as well, where it'll give you a different hairstyle. So I've seen like a mohawk, some like ones with like tiara and fancy hair and stuff like that. So there's probably a bald option out there. I just haven't seen it yet.
Got it.
Fun note: Cuppy has the same hairstyle as me.
Well, this is actually what like my hair is when I style it. So I decided to go with me more or less.
Got it.
Protecting myself.
So yeah, we covered.
So yeah, very
At
little
the
happens.
End of the day, with Inspector, I'm gonna say as a binge show,
Maybe.
give it a shot.
I wouldn't even say. I wouldn't even say as a binge
Like
show.
It could be fine.
It's not. It wasn't good. Like nothing. We were all bored the whole fucking time.
Paced well.
The thing is, it's the pacing in the show that screws this show up. Like if I could go through and edit this show, cut stuff out, smush stuff together, like just edit the shit out of this thing. One, it would be much shorter.
Much shorter. It probably would be 2 arcs in a season instead of 1.
Yeah, it would definitely be 2 arcs. I don't think this would be a 6-episode show. Like we'd hit 6 episodes and we'd be done. But that said, it would be a good 6 episodes. Like, because there is good bones here. It's just poor story pacing and poor editing that screws the show over. The animation's good. The characters are interesting. The overall story is interesting, though I would have introduced the whole villain
earlier.
Introduce the villain earlier and introduce the fact that the villain has an interesting reason about why they're a villain, right? Like, it's not because they're evil. It's not because they want to hurt people. It's because they want to be normal because something horrible was done to them as a child, and now they can't. They can't die. They're not sure they're going to age, like, which means if they get into a relationship with anybody, they're going to outlive them no matter what. Like, there's quite a few issues here with being immortal, and this person doesn't want that, right? So. And so their whole goal is to become normal, which normally would be the reason for someone being a hero in a story. Like, I'm trying to become normal. This is my quest. But the way the person is going about it is wrong because, they might actively be harming someone.
Yeah.
I mean, she did literally kill a dude, so.
Yes, a guy did die. Now, it doesn't look like she had direct control over that, but she was basically setting it up so that someone eventually would be harmed.
She knew what she was doing.
Because that's the way the whole story was going, right? And she was in control of the narrative. But she never directly tried to kill the police officer.
No, and that might not have been her intention at the end of the day. Oh my god, I have a giant purple teddy bear here.
Nice.
Sorry. No, and that like at the end of the day, it might have been her intention, it might not have been, but like we didn't have enough introduction to the villain. And I think what's funny enough is I feel like if the show were to continue, I don't know if it will or not, but I feel like it could be way more interesting if there was correspondence between the villain and the main characters because they know each other, they have each other's contact information. Like, why isn't there more interaction of that? Like,
so I gotta put an interesting note in Shark's Animal Crossing Discord. Turnips are selling for $149 my island.
Ooh.
Welcome to the Animal Crossing podcast.
You know what they're selling it on everybody normal's islands right now?
Less than that?
Literally nothing.
Yeah, I know.
You can't sell turnips on Sundays. So
Wait, really?
yeah, so the turnip seller comes on Sundays, and that's when you can buy turnips. But you can't sell them on Sundays because the turnip seller is there. So
Understandable.
It's that's a mechanic. So I needed to meme on Copper for that because that was kind of funny.
It's hilarious. Now turnip prices go like super high in this game, which is hilarious. But yeah, this show, it's got good bones. It has good potential. It's just they squandered the potential, which is something we've seen from other shows as well.
So it's like the anthem of anime.
No, I have seen the anthem of anime.
Anthem was at least good for the first 60 hours of it.
Well,
like
I
40,
mean,
60 hours of it. Like
60 is a bit of a stretch.
60 is a stretch.
I know what you're going for. I have watched Darling in the Franxx. I know what the anthem of anime is, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like Darling in the Franxx is great all the way up to the end, where you're at the end, like where you'd be at the end game in a game, and like, okay, this is where I'm grinding stuff out. That's where Darling in the Franxx got bad, like for like 2 episodes. This here got bad after episode 3.
Weird. Yeah.
Because of pacing and stuff like that. So
that's
why there probably is a video game analogy to this, but Anthem's not quite it. Anthem is objectively better than this anime. Which is an oof to say if you've ever played Anthem and we're hoping for something more. Maybe it'll be good in season 2 if they fix things, just like maybe Anthem will be good when it comes back out.
In season 2 when they fix things.
We'll see.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with the show I think is pacing, which is why I say if you binge it, like maybe it'll appeal to you. And you'll be able to binge through the bad pacing and get to
I don't know. I think the bad pacing would actually be worse if you were trying to binge through it, because it would just be
they're like rolling your eyes.
It'd be over and over and over again for some of these episodes, especially with those
those last
like those last episodes, right? Like I'd say even the last 4. It would be a slog to get through, I think.
No, I can.
So overall, not an awful show. Not really a recommend.
It could have been better, but it also could have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yes.
And that would be if all of the animation was garbage and the story had literally nothing. Which, man, we could have gotten there. But hey, that's our week-to-week show, and now we're never doing that program again.
Yeah. So for those who've been following along the week to weeks, we've had bad luck with the week to week shows.
Yeah.
Because it is very difficult to pick a show sight unseen that isn't going to be, awful.
Right.
So
the only one we've done that we didn't regret is Vinland, and that's not a good batting average. That's like 25%. That didn't make us hate it. I think
30.
Yeah, I didn't hate Vinland.
No, because we didn't like Fairy Gone.
We did.
So
we started with the Fox show.
Right.
We swapped from the Fox show. We didn't really like Fairy Gone. We liked Vinland Saga. Hated this show. That's 4 that we've done like this, correct?
Well, we also
swapped for interspecies reviewers.
Oh yeah, so that's
I like interspecies reviewers, but
we
can't cover it on.
Swap it.
We had to swap. So interspecies reviewers is not a bad show. It's just not appropriate for this venue here.
Content.
So because of that, we swapped out there. It's not a bad show if you like really raunchy animes that are comedies. You'll love that show because that's what it is.
Yeah,
it does really push the boundary though. So be advised of that. But it got a good story. It has interesting characters. The animation is great. Coloring of the show is great. Voice work is great. Like the show is good, except that it goes so far past what would be a normal boundary that has been pulled off the air in certain TV stations even. But if you like raunchy comedies, like raunchy adult style comedies, this is right up your alley. It's not a bad one. Vinland Saga, also good.
Yeah.
The only awful show we really run into was probably the Fox show.
Yeah.
Man,
we had
Inspectors and Faragon, though we didn't like them, they're not bad per se. It's just they have
We don't
problems
enjoy
and
covering
and there are better animes out there.
Yeah.
And we just didn't enjoy where they went.
Yeah.
Because
I
again,
just
Fairy
didn't
Gone,
like Fairy Gone having 3D animation when every other show that did the same exact concept did not.
Right.
yeah, it mixed 3D and 2D, not successfully, unfortunately. Especially since the 2D animation that show is really good.
It
Like,
is
The 2D animation in Fairy Gone is top-notch quality. It's great. Even the character voices in that show also really good. The story has some interesting points that I think they could have used some clarification on and some editing, but overall, a pretty decent bone story.
Sure.
It's ruined again by pacing. It's ruined by that 3D animation they try to shove in there, and it's ruined by not having the story edited in a more cohesive way. Inspectors, again, good animation, good bones of a story, needs editing.
Right.
It is what it is. So we've had iffish luck. So we're gonna take a little bit off for that and try something else rather than the following one. And
We're gonna try
we'll go
to
from there.
come up with something else, rework the area.
So yeah, we won't be covering another show week by week.
No.
So
Not unless we know something is coming out that we want to follow weekly. Then we might look at doing that.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
Something
Comfy,
super interesting like ReZero Season 2.
did you... No, I am actually interested in that. Did you open your island, Comf?
I did not. I can run to the airport right now for you though.
Everybody else is playing Animal Crossing. I'm just like,
We're having a great time right now.
yeah.
I'm loving it. You can't take my peaches though because they're all being planted.
That's fine. I got peaches. I only need apples. That's literally the only fruit I need.
I have plenty of apples. Apples are one of the islands that, like, when I go and use Nook Miles tickets, I find apple islands.
I always find cherry islands. So the other show most of us watched.
Hey, listen.
Is Darwin's game. Now we have more to talk about here because this is interesting anime, and there's a direct comparison to an older anime called Future Diary that we're going to make.
This was an isekai, correct?
No.
Okay.
So
the
the
Pokemon
basis
Go Fight Club.
Oh, okay,
the basis of Darwin's game is that these people are participating in a death game where it's played through your there's an app that you have on your phone because is it
Battle Royale the video game?
No, but we'll get to that.
Or the anime.
Stop guessing it. There's things here. So the way the game works is that there are different types of matches and events that happen in the game. If you lose all of your points, you die. If you play a death game and you lose, you die. And there are more than one ways to lose. So, for example, in the first episode, our main character is challenged to a game by what is basically a rookie hunter, someone who preys on people who are new to the game.
Can we just point out that he was a panda, and he got the power to go invisible, so he just picked up a knife, dressed up as a panda, and started stabbing people?
Okay, so his name is Bando. He's actually the mascot for the local baseball team. That's why he's dressed as a panda. I don't know why he's wearing his work suit, but he is. His ability, because everybody who plays the game gets a special ability, his ability is called Stealth, which allows him to go invisible and stops him from being...
Yeah, so I actually... The show starts out with basically kid is running around. He's like, man, I'm about to get stabbed. I sure hope I don't get stabbed. What do? I'm going to use my in-game currency to phone a friend. And he calls his friend, and then he gets stabbed. But
he ends up dying.
What happens when you phone a friend using the in-game currency is it sends them an invitation to download the app.
If they're not already in the game, which is what happens here.
Yeah.
He basically tries to get...
literally says, like, forgive me, main character.
For pulling you into this, yeah.
Yeah, for sucking you into this, but I need your help right now. And then he dies anyways.
Then he dies anyways because the guy's right in front of him, kills him. So our new guy's in.
So
a couple things happens in this school for him. his other buddy is also part of the game, which he knows. I'm getting an error code.
Ruh-roh.
I'm just gonna.
His other friends are part of the game, and hears him over talking about like this weird text message he got, and he's like, "Hey, listen, come to me after
He's like-
class. We need to talk about this. Don't fucking open the app. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. It's a terrible idea. Just leave it be." And he's like, "It's a free-to-play phone game. What's the worst that could happen?" They talk
Opens
after
the game.
class, and he's like, "Please don't do this."
So he immediately opens the game.
He opens the game. A snake pops out and bites him on the neck.
Yeah.
Um,
Comes out of his phone, bites him on the neck. He ends up in the nurse's office,
mhm.
and then the guy wakes up. He's like, "Okay, don't do anything. Just go straight home. I will come see
open
you
the app."
after. Like, don't open the app. Don't do nothing. Don't leave your house. I will come right over to your house right after classes. That's it. Like, that's just go home. You're not feeling well. It's the only thing you do." So of course, he doesn't listen.
Opens the app.
He goes out to karaoke with another friend instead.
Mhm.
And so on the train ride back, he's looking at the app, and that's when he meets the rookie killer, who's like, "Aha!" and start chasing him around. His buddy tries to come and save him, ends up shooting the rookie killer guy with a crossbow a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
but they're like small little bolts, so they don't really go in very far or do much to him. The guy goes stealth, which doesn't really work on this guy because he's got the ability to see other people's auras. Still gets stabbed anyways with like a big butcher knife.
Still dies. Yeah, this dude's just
so
running
the two of
around
them-
with a kitchen knife.
So the two of them then run away. They try hiding. The kid's like, "Okay, he's not hunting me in this game, so he can use the search function on his phone to find you, like the general area you are in. So I'm actually better off if you leave me here in hiding and then like try to lure him away, because all you have to do is survive the timer, which is one of the ways to win.
Yeah, it's like
if
a 5-minute
you-
timer.
If you outpace the timer and the guy doesn't kill you during it, he loses the match. And in this case, it's a death match, so if he loses the match, he ends up dying.
Mhm.
So he's like, "Okay, I'll run away. And when the timer is up, I'll come back and get you help." He's like, "Okay, cool." So he leaves. The rookie hunter ends up finding him anyways, and like hiding in a bathroom where he ambushes him from a closet using a fire extinguisher so he can like highlight where he is and see him, kind of thing. He then gets into a fight with him. The guy goes stealth again, and when he's trying to look around to see where he's at, a car comes around because they're in a car parking lot, like one of those big parking
Like-
garage things.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Parking
car-
structure.
And the car hits the rookie hunter from behind because he's invisible, and just slams into him, right?
And RKO's him out of nowhere, and
That's-
the rookie hunter is dead.
Damn.
It knocks him out. He's like seriously hurt. And then time runs out. So
Yeah.
the rookie hunter loses the match, ends up starts talking to him like the kid about how this game is this great thing, and all that stuff. And then
He
these
gets all
blue
pixelated.
boxes start appearing around him and then start teleporting him away piece by piece, and the kid's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
This is how you die.
Damn.
Like this is kind of how you die. Which he then connects to all of the what they've been calling body outline art that's been like appearing around the city, and people think it's like a new graffiti type of thing.
They think that
Um,
Banksy's getting in on this shit, and meanwhile, it's
It's just people dying from this game.
Damn.
yeah.
So then he goes back to his buddy and finds out that his buddy is gone as well because he sees the outline. He's like, "Oh no, my guy died." And he gets a message in the phone, and it's from his buddy, and all it says is "survive."
Yep.
So he's like, "Oh no, my friend died. What do I do?"
Cry about it.
I was like, I gotta, try to survive this game, because that's what I told him I would do. So he's kind of stuck in the game.
Mhm.
So he then gets a message from this other player who's been kind of paying attention to him.
Well, it's also let's point out that the rookie hunter was a super like infamous character because everybody.
Yeah. So the rookie hunter was quote famous character, not for being overly good at the game, but because he was
hated him because he was just farming the first 3 trials wins for tokens.
Basically, yeah. So he was just he was known as a rookie hunter because he would only fight people who were new at the game
and experience.
and experience who didn't know what was going on, didn't know how to like protect themselves using items and stuff like that they could purchase through the game using points, all that stuff, right? Like they had no idea how all this stuff worked, and he would just hunt them and kill them for their points.
Yeah, and like,
but
you can
because he also
points into money, you can buy guns and stuff with them.
Yes, and because this guy dressed as, fucking panda wearing a baseball outfit, he's a little infamous for being kind of a bit of a weirdo as well.
Yeah. So everybody's just like, wait, who found him? This weird dude just killed the rookie hunter. What's going on?
So he kills him. He's contacted by another player, who it turns out is another famous player. We find out later.
She's an A-tier player.
Yeah, she's an A-tier solo player. Mm-hmm. So that means that she, plays without a clan or anything like that, which is things that apparently are in the game as well. We find out.
We find out slowly that the entire Yakuza's playing this game.
So she basically says, tell me what your ability is, and I can think about trusting you and then, telling you more about the game. Because normally he would have been told about the game by the people who brought him into the game, but they're dead. Solo players who are brought in typically are killed within the first match, right? So he doesn't know what his ability is, of course, because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So she gets mad.
Know that abilities are a thing, really.
Yeah. So she gets mad and attacks him. This leads to a fight between them. He finds out that he has the ability to create things that he's touched before.
Yeah, it's literally just copy paste from Fate. Like, it's hero's magic.
So he can just make stuff. Everything he's ever touched, he can just make, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So he ends up making stuff. He ends up getting the drop on her and getting her to surrender. She basically surrenders not because she's in a state where I don't think she could win the fight, but she actively believes him that, okay, he wasn't lying about not knowing shit all about the game. So she basically surrenders the fight. It's not a death match. He thought every game was a death match. It's not. Depends on what the game setup is. In her case, she'd set up a point match when she attacked him. So basically, all that she would lose or he would lose would be points. They wouldn't actually end up dying unless they killed each other during the match, which is possible. So
and then he wakes up in her bed and she's naked.
Yep, and that's the first episode. Remember, this show, the first episode is 40 minutes long, so it's actually
okay.
The first episode was 2 episodes. That's why there was a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Over that period of time. It's not. It is a very dense show in the first episode, which is good because it actually lays out the groundwork.
Yes, which is nice.
But yeah, it is a full 40-minute episode at the beginning, and it ends with the introduction of this other character and saying, hey, she's your other main character that you're going to be dealing with.
Yeah. She's our main female character.
Mm-hmm. She's the top tier waifu, and she has the power of chains.
Yeah, so she has
the ends of it.
She has these chains which look way better in the first episode versus the other episodes, which is probably
don't worry, she turns into Spider-Man later on.
Yeah. And so she uses these to basically, move around and attack with and stuff like that and kill people. But she has full control over them, say, the same way that Doc Ock would have control over his extra arms.
Yeah. Pretty much. She just and
that's her ability.
Moves it with her mind. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's also why she's an A-tier solo player, is because she has this super broken ability with knives on the end of it.
Yeah, so she has a very useful ability with, for movement and defense and attack. Compared to a lot of other players who, might have things such as, oh, I'm super strong, or oh, I can see people's, auras, so they can't hide from me very easily. That type of thing. So her ability is very, very strong. Abilities are obviously not created equal.
Because it's all RNG on how you get your ability.
Yeah, so whatever ability the game gives you is what you're kind of stuck with.
Got it.
And some are much, much better than others.
Such as chains with knives that you control with your mind.
Yeah, or our main character's ability, the ability to create anything you've ever touched. Just think about that for a second, and
really,
that's what that would actually mean in terms of things. So if he's ever touched a gun, he can make guns appear from nowhere. If you've ever touched like flash grenades or stun batons,
these are all things that he orders online so that he can touch them and make them.
So anything like that, he's touched it once. He can create as much as he wants forever from that point. But it also means that, technically speaking, if he touched your phone, he can make a copy of your phone, right? If he touched, say, a brick, he can make bricks. If he touched a house, he might be able to make a whole house, right? Or a vehicle or something like that. Like they haven't shown a limit of his ability yet, right? So, and some of these abilities are way strong. So it's fully possible that he can just touch, whatever, and copy it, which is crazy.
Game's a little wild. All about that Pokemon Go Fight Club.
In episode 2, he's basically kind of forced out on a date with the girl. And she takes him around this area because there's an event coming up that they've received a invitation to in the game. Now, the interesting thing about events in the game is that if you're invited to them, you're automatically playing. There's no opt-out. It's the event takes place here. This is the event. You will be teleported to the area when the event starts and have to compete in the event.
So
if you try to... and the event will have various rules. So in the case of this one, this event is a treasure hunt. It's 300 people are playing in this event. If you do not gather 3 rings of various worth during the event's time period, which is 24 hours, at the end of the event, if the game hasn't been cleared, i.e. if not 299 people have not died, the game will end and anybody without 3 rings in their possession will be instantly killed.
Yeah, the game is like, don't worry, it's not a death match or anything.
Yeah, it's a treasure hunt.
2/3 of you are gonna die.
Yeah, it's a treasure hunt free for all, where there are 300 participants, there are 300 rings. So only 100 people could technically survive if it went the whole 24 hours without everybody dying. And right off the bat, when the game starts, people start dying, because of course they do, because that's how these people play the game.
Yeah.
Now, a part of that reason is the fact that 1, people want to live, and 2, the game makes it very attractive to play the game. So our main character, when he's being told about the game by the girl on their date, he's told about certain things such as he can buy a protection item that prevents him from being located or challenged to a match by anybody who's not directly in front of him for a week at a time. Which will allow you to sleep and rest up or heal or anything like that if you played a match where you were injured, right? As long as you hide yourself away from people, and that costs 10 points. Now, when he won his match from the rookie hunter Banda, he ended up with 40 points total. He's like, 10 points? I only have 40 points. Like, how am I supposed to survive like this if it costs me a week's protection from being able to sleep, cost me a quarter of my points? She's like, well, you won the match with me, so you're going to have more points now. And he looks, he's got like 600 and some points. And she's like, you can also turn points into money. She's like, but I don't recommend doing that.
He does it
So
anyways.
he's like, well, I'm just gonna, convert 10 points to see, how this works, type of thing. She's like, okay, whatever. Because she's apparently like rich regardless, so it's not like she cares about money really much in that regard. So he does it. Turns out those 10 points are worth $1 million, or yen, which is not $1 million.
$10,000 still.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's
not an amount to scoff at.
Yeah, points are worth an insane amount of money, especially to someone who is extreme. Like, he's a high school student, right? Like, he's not rich.
The beginning of the show is him talking and going like, yeah, those two guys, unbeknownst to them, who were playing the game,
Like, somehow got like enough money to buy, to buy motorbikes. He's like, how did you guys do it? Did you find some sweet, like, part-time job you've been working like super hard at? Like,
something like that.
So he's like, okay, this is crazy. I see why people might be playing this game to get money and stuff like that. So the game has particular rules. So this one is said that you have to find 3 rings, 24 hours, otherwise everybody has to die. So it is a battle royale. They literally call it that. And on top of that, if you try to leave the area, you'll be instant killed. So he's kind of like, great.
Damn.
I'm screwed. Right? Because I still don't really know what's going on. The girl he's with, who wants to form a clan with him, basically says, well, I'll form a clan with you, but you're the one who has to start the clan. I'm not going to start it for us. The problem there being is that you have to be of a certain rank to start the clan. He is rank D2. You have to be, what is it? Is it A or E or something like that?
I don't remember exactly.
It has to be a higher rank than what he is to start the clan. So he has to participate in events or games. So, i.e., fight people for points or kill them. And he's not cool on the whole killing thing, like a normal person would be. So
you know how us normal people are always like, yeah, kill people.
What I mean is, like, a normal person would not be, cool with the whole I have to murder people.
He's very much a normal person in this show.
Yeah, he's very much a normal guy. He's not cool on the whole having to murder people.
Okay.
The concept of that bothers him.
Gotcha.
Right? Probably rightly so.
Yeah, I mean, murder's not necessarily a good time all the time.
It should be noted, it does not bother the girl. You get very much I'm kind of a psychopath vibe from her, and that she enjoys the combat and when it's a skilled opponent, and doesn't care about killing people who she sees as casuals or noobs.
Very much, very similar to how what's her name in Future Diary acts.
Yeah, I wanted a comparison at the end.
I know we're gonna deep dive that in a minute, but I just wanted to point that out because it was already on the table.
So when they get teleported into the game, they get separated because everybody gets put into a random spawn zone. He spawns into a hotel area, and
on one of the top levels of the hotel
of a 40-foot, like a 40-story building. So he's kind of, stuck there.
Man, wouldn't it be terrible if the elevators and the stairs were blocked off?
And the game says, okay, here's the rules of the game. You need to find rings. If you leave the area, you die. You can use these 2 apps. One of them will show you the general overview of stuff, and the other one is a alternate reality camera view, which one shows the city and everything around, like in the city buildings and stuff like that, as ruins. But it will show you where the rings are hidden at. And
you also want to point out that when the game started, every single civilian who wasn't a part of the game miraculously decided to go home.
Yeah, everybody in the area.
It literally shows clips of them going, I think I should go home now. And they get dazed and start leaving. So
this is right. Like, this is the clip you see of it occurring is right after they witness someone falling to their death from the top of a building because they had attacked another player in the game. So they watched someone get murdered and went, I'm gonna go home now. Like,
yeah, it was pretty funny, but it's also it's a show trying to make it clear and obvious that it's like mind control magic or something,
yes,
Okay.
or some shenanigans that's
like
super.
yeah. So they're
Shenanigans.
intentionally removing other people from the zone, from the play area, so that they don't interfere,
I actually like that. It was smart.
which is interesting.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
he finds out there's a ring right in his spawn area, and that there's like a good, couple dozen other people in the hotel. He goes outside into the outside rooms, and immediately as he opens the door, there's a bunch of the outlines from the dead bodies like outside of his door. So he's like, "What the hell?" He freaks out, and goes to leave, and he realizes that someone is coming up, and so he hides on one of the stairways and
Does he
looks.
have a ring at this point?
He does have a ring at this point because he spawned. There was one in the room he spawned with.
I wanted to make sure because that's an important point.
So the thing about the rings is that if you're wearing them, like carrying them with you, because people can use the viewer to see where the rings are, they can watch them move, which means they know that a person is holding them and moving around with them. Which is kind of what's happened here. Is the guy who's coming up the elevator knows that this guy has a ring, that like someone there has a ring and is moving around with them, and he's there for the ring.
Yeah, imagine
so
like a heartbeat sensor in Call of Duty.
So he's like, well, I shouldn't be here unarmed. So he's like, he creates a gun. He's like, okay, I've got a gun now. I'm going to be safe because I can use the gun to threaten them or protect myself. And then the elevator opens, and it's a guy in full body armor, a skull face mask,
And a light machine gun.
and a light machine gun. He's like, son of a bitch! Like, is that a machine gun? And the guy opens fire.
Yeah.
So,
He's like, all right, I got a gun. Nobody else has a gun. I'll be fine. And then a goddamn Marine in like full on death squad gear walks out of this elevator and is like, all right, champ. Not today.
Jesus.
Turns
So
out
he runs.
the hotel had a lot more than just him as death squad.
So he tries running down the stairwell, finds that the stairwell is blocked by a giant plant, and he can't get past it. He's like, oh crap. So he runs across the thing to the other opposite end stairwell of the building, because every building has two stairwells on it for emergency reasons. Finds out, oh no, it's blocked as well. Finds out, like, okay, the guy isn't following me. Then he realizes, oh shit, because he uses the viewer. He's like, he went across up top and is now coming down this stairwell. So he tries running to the elevator to leave. They have a confrontation at the elevator, where the machine gun guy's gun jams. So the kid turns around, points the gun at his face. The guy's like, okay, shoot me then. The kid can't shoot him, ends up giving him the ring. The guy's like, well, you're going to be a waste of bullets, so whatever. Gets on the elevator and goes down. So the kid has a bit of an existential crisis. And then our next character, who we know is an important character from the opening of the anime, comes out, and it's this little girl who is also part of the game.
What did she call herself again? I forgot.
So she has a name, but everybody in the game calls her the Analyst.
That's it, the Analyst.
She is basically an information broker. So she survives in the game by running away from fights if people try to fight her. And well, very few people who try to.
About players.
And by making herself basically useful to everybody by selling information. So because she's an information broker, information is exceedingly important. She's kind of left alone. But she was, again, forcibly teleported into this game, so she has to compete.
Yeah.
She basically tells them, okay,
I was in the airport, by the way. I'm behind you.
Oh. The elevators... Oh, I have stuff for you. The elevators are traps.
Yeah, elevators are traps that got spores that are just going to kill everybody. So if you go in, you will die. That's pretty much. Oh, good lord! I'm tired.
So, because he's like, "What do you mean?" The elevator comes back up, and the guy who'd just gone down in it, is like covered in vines and like unconscious in the elevator. He's like, "What the hell?" He's like, "Well, how do we get out of here?" And she's like, "I don't know." Do you want to form an alliance so that we don't fight each other and we both can survive? He's like, okay, we'll form an alliance until we're out of the hotel. He's like, cool.
Yeah.
So they then realize that the person basically responsible for the plant attacks and that everybody dying in this place because of the plants, she tells them it's probably the work of the florist, and she says that no one's ever seen what this person looks like. He's just called the florist because of the unique way in which he kills people by using plants, and he basically sets traps and avoids direct confrontations.
His power has something to do with like controlling plants and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but not a lot of information is available on him because he doesn't really let people survive who fight him.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Which is...
Like, listen, if you never have to interact with somebody to win a fight, you're gonna win fights very easily. Like, listen, if I'm playing Call of Duty Warzone, right, and I have a sniper, and the other dude's in the middle of the field, and all he's got is a machine gun, I'm probably gonna be fine because I don't have to deal with that guy because I'm too far away. And that's exactly what this florist dude does. He just sets up traps everywhere, and he's like, I don't want to fight anybody. I don't want to look at you. You're not my problem.
He's also happy that the kid seems to be like a strong opponent, so he can feel less guilty about the whole
murder
confrontation and the way he's going to kill them.
Yeah.
Because he does plan on killing them.
I wish I had remembered to watch this because, like,
this is sounding mildly interesting.
No, it's just I literally have no input in this conversation right now. So,
also, then the florist decides to use his plant powers and take all the people that he's killed in the hotel so far and basically turn them into zombies for him, doing his will.
The show is Darwin's Game, Tony. That's the show we're watching this week.
Darwin's Game. So I forget, in episode 3, do they beat the florist?
No, episode 3, they realize that's when he starts using the other people who may or may not be dead, and he's just controlling them to start hunting them down. And they realize that, one, he's doing that, and they're like, oh crap. And 2, they realize that he is in the hotel's control room for security.
Yeah, and that's how he's able to know all their movements, and they start shooting cameras and stuff. Yeah,
he's using the cameras to track people. That's how he was able to hunt people down so easily. That's kind of where the 3rd episode ends. It leaves off in that kind of cliffhanger. Other things we see during the time are that there is like a casino that bets on the games, and that's what's going on here. We know about the ranking system. We meet a couple other characters that we don't really learn a lot about them, such as
we get a couple side shots into some of the gangs that are running the area.
Yeah, so most people form into clans, or as the girl calls them, families, and these groups are how people are usually brought into the game. So basically you're invited in and you join this clan, you get a special ability type of thing. A lot of them kind of act like mafia groups.
A lot of them literally become mafia groups.
Yeah.
So, which is funny. It's a great time. But they, like, the mafia groups will just start fights with each other and then have an entire game where they just wipe each other out. So.
Yep. So things get interesting in that regard. Like they set some future threads for things coming up.
So also, interesting fact about this show, on Crunchyroll, it's like 4 episodes behind.
Is it?
I know Copper didn't have to deal with that. But so I started watching this show when it first came out, and I will be honest, I straight up fell off of it because I didn't want to watch it on not Crunchyroll.
Gotcha.
And the issue was that other sites were getting it. I forget who exactly had it first, but Crunchyroll had it like a couple weeks later. So
yeah, Crunchyroll is on episode. They might be on episode 8 now, but they were on episode 7 when I watched it. Whereas otherwise online they're on like episode 11.
Got it.
So
was that all the episodes then, or
there should be 12?
No, I mean,
more
like,
likely.
did you guys get?
Yeah, that was the whole.
I watched through episode 4.
I haven't watched through 4 yet, so I stopped at 3.
I will watch the 3 episodes today, and then I will we'll definitely touch on it next week, and I'll give my thoughts.
It's 11 episodes total, says Cherry in the chat.
Okay,
just for the
okay. Crunchyroll is 3 episodes behind.
Yeah, so I plan on
is that going to be the end of the season?
Show. That's why I stopped early.
Or that's all that's out so far?
That's probably all that's out so far. A season is typically at least 12 episodes.
Yeah, it's 12 or 13 almost always.
Usually,
you might get a weird 10 episode. I don't think 11's very uncommon though.
Yeah, I wouldn't. If you're at 11, no, it's only 11. Wow,
damn,
really?
That is weird. It's a weird number for an anime.
Yeah,
it's a very weird number for an anime. Now, if you want to come over to it's Sunday on my island now. So if you want to come over to see about the store and stuff like that.
Oh, if it's Sunday on your island, I can't sell turnips there.
You cannot. I can move it to Monday though if you want.
Yeah,
that's illegal.
I just bought a bunch of turnips, so if you got a good price,
let me move to Monday and see what we've got for pricing. But yeah, so this show, because of the whole death game using phones, has a direct comparison. Is very reminiscent in kind of in its character structure as well to an older anime known as Future Diary.
I'm gonna get the Japanese name because people actually call this one by its Japanese name as well.
Is this? Do we want to?
Mirai Nikki is
yeah. So
the other name.
Future Diary is is an anime where our main character is a shy, daydreaming type loner guy who constantly writes a diary on his phone and is invited into a death game by what is essentially God, who he has a pre-existing relationship with, like friendship with.
He didn't really know that it was God, though.
He didn't know it was God. He just knew it was this like
alternate being
type thing.
He thought it was like dreams and stuff. So
yeah, so he thought he was daydreaming. It turns out he wasn't. He was actually having conversations directly with God, which
God's like, hey,
interesting.
Listen, you and these other people I also chose. He picks like 11 other people.
Yeah, there's like 12 people in total. He's like, so I'm running this game.
I don't want to be God anymore. I want it to be one of you guys. Best way to do that, obviously, Battle Royale.
Let's do it.
Well, the reason for it is that God is actually like dying, and so he needs a replacement. He's like, well, I'm running this thing, and you know what? Because we're friends, and you're having such a shitty go at it, I'm going to give you the opportunity of, joining in the game and playing through this game. He's like, okay. And God really doesn't spell out what the fuck the game is beforehand.
Yeah, he's very, very shifty about it.
He's just like, it'll be this thing you can join in, it'll be good for you. He's like, okay, whatever. Turns out it's a death game. And everybody in the game has a phone that gives them a special ability to predict the future in a certain way.
So everybody in the death game writes diaries of their own
of some sort on their phone. So we have a police detective, for example, who uses his phone.
I feel like we've discussed this before in the past. Now
we've mentioned this show before.
We have the police detective who solves all his cases. So he has the case diary, and he has detective information on his phone from the future. We have Yuki, who's the main character, who writes down literally everything about him, and he has objectively the best diary in the game because he has more information than anybody because he's such a meticulous note taker. And then we have his cute pink-haired psychotic yandere girlfriend who her diary is all about him, so she knows everything about him.
Yeah, her diary is literally only about him. Like,
So
that's
it's
the only information it gives.
It's his position, his location, what he's doing. Is he okay right now? And they do use it multiple times because they get separated, and she's like, "Well, I need to go rescue him." She's a
So-
psychopath and totally okay with murder, much like our good girl. In
Oh yeah,
Darwin.
she's very much psychotic. Like, it's not even like, she might be a little crazy. She at one point kidnaps him and ties him to a chair in like a hotel room and keeps him there for like a couple of weeks or something like that.
Well,
so-
to be talk about the ending, because holy shit.
Where she goes on like a killing spree and shit like that. Like, it gets
I'm
weird.
talking about how she just is bending reality to how to just keep this moment alive.
Yes, and it turns out that originally speaking, the game has played out before already. And she won. She's
But
actually
had so much fun dating him during the death game.
But what it means is that for her to have won the game is that she killed him in this other reality and became God. But because of, the fact that she actually, as far as she's concerned, loves him and misses him, she's like, well, I don't want to deal with a universe where he's not in it and I can't recreate him. So I'm going to invade this other reality, this alternate reality to me, and, get into a relationship with him again. The problem there is that she exists in this other reality already. That's behind her reality and time. Her solution for this is to kill herself and take her place.
It like the last 3 or 4 episodes is all about shifting to that plot line, and it's actually really good. I loved it, but you see what I mean by it gets wild at the end. Like they just start going all out.
Yeah, so it turns out that the reason she's kind of crazy to begin with is that her parents were super abusive. Like,
It is
kept
actually pretty
her
tragic.
kept her in a cage, like an animal type of abusive.
Like
And
some sort of crossing.
but expected her to be like a good student and all that stuff, and like maintain this facade of them being like decent people and parents. So shit was weird. She ends up, I can't remember if she kills them herself or if they die, and she basically just keeps their bodies in this room in her house.
She definitely killed them.
Yeah, so she kills them, keeps their bodies in a room in her house, which she does not clean up. So there's blood splashed over the walls, and the bodies are just kind of in bags.
This is like the first time that like he goes to her house,
and
he
finds out
super weird about it the whole time.
Yeah, and he finds out about, there's dead people here, and it's like, okay, what the fuck is going on?
Nothing creepier than her going Yuki right after he finds all the dead stuff.
So you guys have both seen all of that.
Yeah,
you both seen all of the show?
Okay.
Okay.
So the show is like, there's a lot of parallels between it with like how you've got kind of a wimpier main character, a psychotic girlfriend character. The phones are used in this death game. Like, there's a lot of parallels.
What's funny was when we were actually trying to pick a show week to week for this season, which we're not doing anymore, so don't worry about it. This show came up, and one of the reasons we didn't want to do it was because we thought it was too similar to Future Diary.
Yes.
That was a conversation we had, if you don't remember.
Yes, that does sound familiar. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's very, very
So it's very
true.
similar. Future Diary is a great show. It has a couple of issues that people are not cool with, one of which is the ending. The ending to Future Diary was so disliked, they actually made an OVA which changes the ending. So there is that.
I haven't watched the OVA, so I probably should.
The new ending is okay. Like,
it's not revolutionary, I would assume.
It's not revolutionary. It kind of gives people what they wanted, which is pretty much why they made it.
Just like a better ending.
It's a better overall ending, I would say.
I sure wish they would do that with a Kami Ga Kill.
But yeah, so if this goes in the same vein as Future Diary, I'm gonna be happy because Future Diary is actually a really decent show.
Yeah.
And so far, this seems like it's gonna be a pretty good one.
Also very well animated.
Yes.
Uh,
So based on the first 3 episodes, this is definitely a watch for me. I didn't go past the 3 episodes solely because I didn't want to get confused about where he stopped and whatnot, because I do plan on probably binge watching the rest of the show today.
Yeah, because it's out. You can go watch it now and be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might just watch it on Crunchyroll and then wait for the next episodes to come out. Just to be lazy.
I was watching it week to week when it originally came out. I watched through episode 4 or 5. I don't remember exactly which one, but that's why I got a little bit fuzzy. But also, definite recommend for me.
Yeah, this is a really good show. I can see why people are, really up on the show and why it's one of probably the best shows of the season so far.
Gotcha. I just had a terrible, awful idea.
Hmm.
Can we get a graphics package with like a big stamp that's like recommended or not recommended, or like 2.5 stars?
We could definitely do like a stamp system, like recommended, and have the place on the show. Yeah,
just a visual that me and Dale could put up, because I think that'd be hilarious and stupid.
Just hit a button and have the whole thing animated.
Just hit a button and it'll have it pop
like
up.
a big stamp, like just
it's gotta be
the entire street.
There's got to be a huge sound effect as well. I love that's actually a really good idea.
Like a smash.
I kind of dig that idea, to be honest. That's like kind of hilarious.
And then 1 second, I want to turn the pitch down on this, but excuse the edited voice really quick. Recommended.
And then we could also just overlay that onto like our normal streams and make the whole thing a bit.
Just make it a big bit, like what God has for exclusive. Exactly what God has for exclusive for E3.
Like instead of the
you've seen that, right?
What?
Yeah.
Goth's exclusive stamp for E3.
Oh God, no! I don't remember seeing that.
It's just a big stamp that says exclusive every single time an exclusive game pops up.
Got it.
E3 presses.
Got it.
Continue.
Which would be interesting because this year's, if there's anything remotely resembling like an E3, it's going to be all online. It's the actual event.
I'm really interested to see how they leak my information exclusively online this time.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just going to straight off publish it now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's kind of what they did last time.
They'll be straight publishing, and they'll be just like an open bid for like different companies to buy your information.
to buy my phone number. Please sell my phone number to
your
more
phone
people.
number and email. People pay for that stuff. That's the thing. So
yeah, I know, because I got this. So, long story short, the ESA sucked. And published every media member's information online. I was media at E3 last year. They published my phone number, address, all that stuff. While I was at school in Arizona, I started getting aggressive phone calls.
Damn.
I got like 20 phone calls from like restricted. I just picked up. I was like, "What do you want?" And they were like, "Yeah, hi, we're with Toys R Us." Yeah, that's a fun one. We want you to fill out this poll for us. And I was like, no, I won't. And I was like, why would I do that? He's like, well, we'll stop calling you if you do. And I just hung up and then put my phone down. Over the next hour and a half, received upwards of 80 calls.
Jesus Christ.
Then I set my phone to just auto block it as well. So I wasn't getting rings anymore. It just went straight to voicemail for them. Then my brother called me and he said, hey, a dude just showed up at the door and said that, and used your phone number and said that you ordered pizza here. Like some dude showed up at my front door with 3 like large pizzas from a local place, like not even like a chain restaurant. And they said like that I was supposed to pay with cash. And I was like, okay, well, cool. Tell the pizza guy, A, I'm in Arizona. B, I didn't order anything. And C, if they want to fight me, they can call me. Like, I don't know what to do about it.
Jesus.
But yeah, that's garbage. So
Fuck, man.
fuck the ESA.
That's insane.
Hey, yeah. We can't do anything about it though.
Yeah.
So
What are you gonna do?
no. Well, sue them for. If it was Canada, they'd be getting sued for breach of privacy laws.
There's a class action lawsuit that people are trying to get set up and rolling.
Wouldn't even be a wouldn't be an issue even to get it rolling in Canada. It's literally a breach of privacy laws. Also,
It
here,
says,
if I like those calls you're getting.
Mhm.
So where I live, in particular, in the province I live in, if a company calls me past 8 p.m., I can have them charged by the police.
Yeah, so
Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter why they're calling. Which is normally like if you're a client of somebody, they can call you past a certain time and whatnot, or have ability to call you.
yeah,
Does not matter in my province. If you
So-
call past a certain time, it is a crime.
my my phone number is listed on the FCC do not call list. So anybody calling this number that I don't approve of, I can charge.
Yep.
That's convenient.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a way to access their phone numbers without going to Verizon and being like, "Hey, give me the phone records." And I'm not going to put that much effort into it. So
The other
don't
thing you
blame
can
you.
do here is that if someone calls you, you can tell them not to call you again, and if they contact you again, you can have them charged as well.
yeah, no, I
is
do a
cool.
very good job of that with spam callers, because spam callers have to have their phone numbers listed. And I'm just like, cool, I'm on the FCC do not call list. If you want to call me again, I'll charge it. And I have submitted a lot of phone numbers, and obviously my phone calls have gone down significantly. So
yeah, I don't get a lot of phone calls personally because I do not publish my phone number. I don't use it anywhere for anything. If something asks me for my phone number, I do not give it to them.
yeah,
It's like, well, you can't do this without a phone number. Like, well, I'm not doing it then. It's like, well, we need you to do this. Like, then you got to do it without a phone number.
Mhm.
Yeah,
my phone number goes to nobody.
The person who had my phone number before me might have been an idiot. So
Yeah,
I
that's always
get
a
so
problem with
many
numbers since they're
phone
reused.
calls. They're looking for Jake, and I'm like, there's no Jake.
dude, I get phone
Oh
calls
my
from
God,
people speaking
stop.
Spanish. And I'm just like, I listen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a person. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, I can't help you. I only speak one language, and I'm not good enough to know another.
My plaza randomly has a bench in it now.
Nice.
Oh,
I didn't put a bench in it because you
Oh.
can't put things in your plaza.
is your airport open?
I'm on my way there. Open it now.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
what are we looking at that you guys think we want to cover
Next
for
week?
next week? Any ideas? I want to watch something with robots.
Something with robots.
Something with
is-
robots.
Okay,
I like
that
robots.
is a request.
What is the
we can find
show
a
that
show.
they're making another season of? Zoids?
So the Zoid show, there's a new Zoid show just
Is that
came out this season actually.
Okay.
Which might be what you're thinking of.
Maybe.
Let me find it. Just a sec. Here we go. Zoid's Wild Zero.
Whoops.
Came out
That's the wrong keyboard.
technically 2019, but it is
Okay,
out.
you know
There
what?
are 8
I
episodes.
I have seen some of this before.
What, Wild Zero?
Zoids. Oh, I don't know. Just
Mm,
robots. I like
But it is
robots,
definitely
guys.
a robot show. Let's do
I'm trying to
this.
think what a good robot show would be
Mhm.
that I've seen. Oh, speaking of shows ending poorly, Darling in the Franks.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Had a good first 15 episodes.
Yeah. It had some, like, Darling and Franks was a good robot show for a good while, and then it went whole
It just
hog
got
on the
weird.
weird.
Damn it.
It went real weird, like real weird.
No, we should just watch Citrus.
I keep typing on the wrong keyboard.
I'm browsing through trying to find shows right now.
I'm looking at like top 10 lists of animes.
I'm browsing the popular list on Crunchyroll because there's usually a lot more.
Holy shit.
What?
Seven's a good one, but older.
7's on my list.
A lot of anime for mecha tend to be old. I haven't made a
that's
lot
a
of
different one. Okay.
Well,
Anime.
there was like a really big bunch of mecha anime in like the 80s, 90s. Like
Yeah.
that was like
Yeah,
the
there was.
Gundam, the Gundam like reintroduction and all that stuff.
That-
Gurren Lagann. We've already done Iron Blooded Orphans and Gurren Lagann though.
Yes, we have.
IBO and Gurren Lagann. I think I recommended both of those two.
All right, the gates are open. Yeah, that's why I didn't automatically recommend one of them because they're
Yeah, those are the two. Those are my go-tos.
we've literally already watched them.
I love IBO. It's one of my favorite shows. It's so well done. That is a perfect example of a show with an ending that you don't like but you respect.
How about
Geass.
Data Live? Data Live is a is a mecha show.
Code Geass is a mecha show.
Ugh, no,
What, you don't like Code
Uh,
Geass?
I do not like Code Geass.
Oh, I like that show.
Infinite Stratos is one.
Yo, when's the
Not
next movie coming out, Cherry?
It's not one that he's gonna like though. I'd like to find one that Dale isn't gonna.
Oh, we
hate
could
off
watch your movie.
premise.
We could do a movie at some point in the near future too. I mean, we've done that a couple times. I don't know if those have actually made it to podcasts that were actually recorded properly.
You know what movie is available on Crunchyroll right now?
What's
I
that?
watched it yesterday.
Konosuba.
Yeah, I
Ah,
watched it yesterday.
Konosuba movies on Crunchyroll this week.
got it.
Oh,
Is it dubbed?
Dale, do you have Comfy Stream up?
I can check.
I do. Yeah.
Okay, watch Comfy Stream. He's flying into my
God, I'm
island.
so glad we're on 18 plus
Oh
right now.
no. Hey, this isn't up on my stream. Okay, I'm fine.
That's what I said. Just watch Comfy Stream. I
Yep.
didn't say put it up. I said just watch it.
Okay.
I'm trying to find the Konosuba movie right now.
It is online. It is on Crunchyroll.
Also, what season do you have to be up to be at the right point to watch the movie? Is it after season 2?
For Konosuba, it's after. You'd have to watch the whole thing.
Damn, I'd have to be all caught up. Okay, so yeah, I'm like maybe halfway through the first season. I kind of have been like honestly enjoying it in dub when I do watch it, and I might watch more of it.
The dub for
Konosuba
Konosuba is phenomenal.
Yeah, I also have to wait for Kaylee to go to sleep. Nice, Copper. Nice. Jesus.
I'll be real, I totally missed it. I was
Oh,
looking
man.
away, but
Don't worry. You have to see it. You have to access my island. You have to walk across it.
Jesus. All right.
All right.
And if you come next here, you can see my flag.
Oh my god. I don't. Yeah, I'm never visiting Copper's Island.
Fucking quit.
Haley, never go to Copper's
Sucks.
Island.
I'm
telling
telling Nintendo.
Yeah, she doesn't understand why. Just trust me. Good duck.
Oh my god.
Buy this rock guitar.
Okay, so anyway, Mecha Show.
So yeah,
Okay. So
our normal ones we've already recommend ones we've actually already watched. which
I
is a
like
thing.
Code Geass.
Code Geass?
Yeah.
Okay.
The
let me-
girlfriend likes it. I do not like that
Well,
show.
it's
Um,
Let's
It
Google
is
it.
so Dale, I think the thing that might turn you off about the show is it's a weird art style.
everything is pointy. Like, the
Everything is
people that-
pointy.
Everybody's really lanky.
Okay,
They're
you know-
all really tall and skinny.
You know how
It
Yugi
looks
looks in Yu-Gi-Oh? How
okay.
he's like that skinny, like super pointy appearance.
Mhm.
Everybody looks like that.
But there's
Mhm.
robots. I don't see any robots in these images. There's one. There's a
lot
robot.
of robots.
There are some robots.
There's quite a few robots.
There are probably better robot shows.
It turns into much more of like a political thriller than a robot show.
It very much does.
But I just want to watch robots fight each other.
The first 3 episodes
Um,
has lots of robots fighting each other, I thought.
Yeah, but it won't keep that way.
Mhm.
Fine. All right. Let's see what else.
Keep trying to type in the wrong fucking keyboard because I have them both in front of me right now because reasons.
Oh, look at me! I have 2 keyboards. I'm a rich boy.
I'm-
Today.
No, not at all.
We already did ReZero. I'm just looking for
Mhm.
shows.
there a way to
Browse
sort
by
these?
category.
All right, I'm going to sort these by date. So, because I know there's been some recent ones.
I'm browsing by mecha tag
Uh,
in Crunchyroll. All right.
Oh, you know what? I
Albino
think
Zero.
isn't there one on Netflix that is something
Albino Zero is on Netflix.
something
Oh,
they
yeah.
did on their own though?
Okay.
No, Netflix hasn't made any mecha shows on their own. They
Oh,
call
okay.
them their shows, but it's just
Okay.
because they have broadcast rights.
FLCL.
What's that?
Really coolly.
Fully Cooley?
There's Gundam Drivers.
Is that robots?
Yeah, if something has a Gundam in the name, it's
Kill
literally-
Kill's listed under Mecha Lamau. Why?
yeah. Some of the things I've seen listed under mecha don't make sense.
Yeah. Oh,
Mecha.
we could watch Squidman. That'd be a
I wonder
really
if
good show.
you might be thinking of Cannon Busters on Netflix, Dale.
Do what now?
Cannon Busters. It's a show on Netflix.
Copper,
it's
I'm
like
going to
This guy who drives around this giant Cadillac that turns into like a cow robot thing. It's weird.
I'm going to recommend 4S Gridman.
4S Gridman.
It's
Yeah, there
S
is
Gridman.
there
Do you know
is
what it
a lot of there is robot fighting in that, technically speaking.
Well, it's literally like why can't I think of the like Godzilla mecha fighting?
Yes.
That sounds dope actually.
It's
like
stylized like the OG
Yep.
Godzilla films as well.
Okay.
Like it'll be something you either love or you're like, all right, that looks weird.
We should watch that
But
then. That sounds fun.
I think it's a you thing though. That's why I think it's good.
I love I love
Yeah.
Godzilla movies. Like I actually okay, I'm
if
seeing a
if
giant
we did
robot.
Gridman, I think that'd be a good
All right.
one.
Giant robot is
Yeah.
about to kick a giant dinosaur thing in the face. Let's
Also,
watch
it's
this.
about Rika, who people only love for her thighs.
And is this on the Netflix?
It is on the Crunchyroll.
That works too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's on Crunch.
Mhm.
That'll work.
It is 4 S's and then a period and then Gridman. So
Mm-hmm.
it was one of the more popular shows a couple seasons ago. People really liked it. Rika's the top tier waifu from it because she's got thick thighs and they save lives.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very highly recommended because it's not a very run of the mill anime.
Got it.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very different anime.
I'm in.
and I haven't watched it, so I'm very interested.
Okay, cool.
Yes,
So
I have
next
also
week
not
we're
seen
gonna
Gridman.
do.
I heard good things about it.
Same.
I've
I
never-
heard nothing but good things. Everybody who watched it thought it was hilarious and amazing.
Dope.
So-
So yeah, Gridman is up next week.
So-
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
watch my
have,
homework this time.
I have Mabel's shop as well, Bumpy. My museum and whatnot are over to the left and down.
Gosh, you have. Oh, I like the flowers.
Copper's Island is
Okay.
pretty.
Copper, is this your house?
Yes, it is. Do you like my door knocker? I got that from French.
Dude, that looks like. Oh, man.
I got the door knocker from French's place from Maple. The house, I'm actually able to customize what my house looks like now.
Oh, that's cool. Copper has like skull and crossbone on his red and spooky house. So yeah.
I'm just catching some bugs.
That's fine. There's lots of mantises and things like that up here around here.
Yeah, I don't have any mantises. What is
Um,
this? Copper.
That is
what-
a.
That's where you
So
die.
is that the
this is-
bad turnip?
No, this is where I keep my turnips normally, as I store them in here. I have a rotten turnip because rotten turnips will spawn ants. So I've actually caught quite a few ants because of that.
Mm.
Interesting.
And
Cool.
then if you go straight down, you'll come to the museum and the Able Sisters shop. But I'm in the process of, quote, beautifying my island.
I can tell you've.
I have to get to a certain island level to be able to get the next thing unlocked.
Gotcha.
I
So there's
definitely do want to shop because I need to make myself look fancy.
So fancy. Okay.
Now, to see what they have for sale in total, you have to go into the change room.
Ooh, we're gonna watch Comfy Change in Animal Crossing. So, yeah,
Not in real life.
to
though.
recap, basically, Darwin's game good,
Darwin's game
Inspector
good.
bad.
Inspector's is meh, not bad, meh.
Okay.
And next week we're going to be watching Gridman,
Mhm.
which I hear good things about.
Yes.
Other than that, aside from, as you can see, we've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing. I also dived into the Borderlands DLC,
I did.
which
It was Doom.
and Coffee has been playing Doom.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
will
the-
be
which is the
playing Doom
Borderlands
this
3
week,
DLC.
and I'm excited.
Oh, I do want to touch on one thing that I played this week that I absolutely loved and thought was amazing.
What's that?
So Half-Life.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Oh,
supposed to
yeah,
be
you
Alex
did do
game,
that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I heard good things. I heard people talk about how it actually feels like an actual, not just gimmicky VR
Oh,
game.
It's the first full VR game.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a full game. I got a full game's worth of gameplay out of it. I'm gonna go
Awesome.
back and do it again, probably in my spare time. I have a big open area upstairs that I can't stream from, but I can set up VR there, so I'm probably gonna do that to get a better experience for it.
Cool.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, rather than playing the back of your room there, yeah.
yeah, it was it was pretty funny to deal with some of the issues in the back of the room, especially because there's like grenades that you need to pick up from tentacles, but you need to do it quickly, otherwise they'll like pull away from
Wait,
you.
grenades from
Right.
there's tentacles in that?
Have you played Half-Life?
No.
Yeah, there's a
No.
lot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's like tentacles and head.
it's like a fungus growth, but it pops out grenades. It's specific to this game, but it's one of the only things you can't just pull to yourself with your magnetism hands. You have to like go up and grab it.
Mhm.
And I 100% smacked my window in trying to grab it.
Uh-oh.
Half-Life Alyx was very fun. It was very intuitive. It was very pretty and well done.
Mm.
We're getting another Half-Life game. I 100% guarantee it. And the lore was amazing. So I'm
Cool.
like,
And it has tentacles, which add those together, and that's the Borderlands DLC.
dude, okay, the Borderlands 3 DLC was literally Doom.
Yeah,
Doom has so many tentacles in it, dude.
The new Borderlands DLC, which is basically around a wedding that's being invaded by tentacles.
And those two characters are like my favorite characters from Borderlands
I
3.
love them
Sir
so
Hammerlock
much.
It's
and they're fucking
Wainwright.
yeah,
and Wainwright.
Jacob,
It's a great. I'm going through it right now. It is great.
their
The new
dialogue
gear
was
is amazing. The new zones are like they're really huge. There's new enemy types. The story is actually interesting. So there's like new hunts for like other monsters to go and kill, stuff like that, crew stuff. So they put a lot into this.
Mhm.
One of the new guns you can get is called the Anarchy. It gives you Gage's Anarchy stacks
Yeah. It's
on any character.
it's a TD shotgun that gives you Gage's Anarchy stack.
That's cool.
It's very clearly a nod to Gage, and Gage is in it, and she's great. All of the dialogue is amazing. I need to turn myself into Captain Robert really quickly.
Nice.
I saw it. I had to.
100%.
Yes. So the way this works is that everything for sale is in the changing room.
Mhm.
There's also items out here you can just quickly buy.
Yeah.
These stuff on the mannequins are these seasonal outfits, so this stuff sticks around for like a few days or a week.
Yeah.
And then in the back corner,
I conveniently bought what was already here. So
and then the back corner, this wall here displays other people's designs, like actual people's designs.
Ooh.
And this portal here allows you to purchase for free any designs that other people have made in the game, as long as you know their code.
Oh, that's cool.
Only registered residents of Rabbit Hole can use it, though.
Yes. Also, my island is named Rabbit Hole for no real reason.
Oh yeah, no real reason. Let's
Not at all.
definitely-
All right. Well,
It has nothing to do with the flag or that.
That's a quick recap of our week. We've been doing lots of games.
and I'm
Yeah,
excited to
I
play
mean-
Doom this week and
Everybody's,
all kinds of fun stuff.
for the most part, a lot of people are still stuck inside, so a lot of
Mhm.
gaming is going on. But yeah, we just lots of gaming. That's pretty much that, and fucking Tiger King.
Oh my
I
God,
haven't
we
watched that. How dare
Okay,
we watched
you
it
have
yesterday.
to watch Tiger King.
Yes, watch it,
You
and we
ha-
should touch on it next
each-
week. Do it.
Each episode gets more insane than
It's-
the last episode.
Yeah. It's kind of
Oh,
crazy.
You know what's really funny? So my
We
my
binged
mom
it
has
all
been
yesterday.
one of the my mom's been working from home.
We were doing so fucking well at wrapping up. God damn it, Copper, you son of a
Listen,
bitch.
I have one tiny little thing. So my mom's been doing like working from home, so she's been watching a lot of like Netflix while she's working and trying to find new shows to watch. And she was like, "Oh, I heard about this show called Tiger King," and I was like, "Oh, that's a show." And she was like, "Yeah, I heard it's really interesting." I was like, "Do you know what it's about?" She's like, "Yeah, like zookeepers and stuff."
Oh my God, Addison!
That show's about zookeepers is like saying that Game of Thrones is about medieval royal families.
It is about zookeepers. They are zookeepers.
Yeah,
Technically speaking.
That is not the extent of it, which is why I was like, saying Game of Thrones is about medieval royal families. Technically, it's true, but there's a little bit more to it than that.
The thing is, having gone and watched the show, the best zookeeper you meet is a man who is quite literally an ex-drug lord who spent more than 11 years in jail for drug crimes and murdering and dismembering a federal agent. He's the best person you meet in this show.
Wait, what's the dude's name? Like Joe Exotic?
Yes. So the first guy you get introduced to is Joe Exotic.
I read articles about him.
There is Joe Exotic. There is another guy named Doc Antle. He is not actually a doctor. And then there's a woman called Carol who murdered her husband.
Okay, I'll have to watch this week.
Literally, the concept of her murdering her husband, which is a huge, like, not spoiler because it's being memed everywhere. It's mentioned at the end of one episode, and then they do a whole episode on it because literally the guy interviewing is like, "Wait, what?" Because he hadn't heard about this story.
Does she just like casually drop "I murdered my husband"?
No, another guy does. Another guy basically casually drops that she murdered her previous husband, and the interviewer, the guys doing the documentary, like, "Wait, what?" And then then there's a whole episode looking at this, and it's not even like that's not common knowledge. Like, there is news stories, like broadcast, like national news stories and everything about this, because the guy who went missing, quotation marks, was a multimillionaire. So when one of those people goes missing, it makes the news.
Yeah, that's great. All right.
Also, it turns out that place is like 15 minutes from Kevin's house.
Wow, you know what else is 15 minutes from Kevin's house? The internet, where you can find me at mixer.com/Compromise, Instagram.com/Compromise, Twitter.com/Compromise, and where can we find Copper?
You can find me online at copperlineart.com or Copperline Art, Copperline Designs on Twitter and Instagram, respectively, and usually in somebody's chat.
And if we need to go back to Dale, where can people find you?
You can find me at mixer.com/Mr. Vengeance, and then Twitter and Instagram, Mr. Vengeance TV, and also YouTube. Just find Mr. Vengeance. That's where we upload the podcast, as well as like just the audio only for podcasts and stuff like that. All right.
Wherever you find podcasts.
I love this discussion is going on underneath this flag. Great.
Oh,
right.
Listen, I definitely like stopped here to hang with you and then looked at the flag. I was like, you know what? Let's keep it. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This was 2.5 Weebs.
Bye. See you next week.